Yo people, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I would like to talk about the movie Weapons. Now, I haven't been on YouTube for quite a while. Obviously I went away for my birthday. I went to Gravity in Wandsworth in that vlog. I went to Alton Towers as well. That video came out yesterday. And yeah, I saw this movie like 2 weeks ago. And I wanted to make a review on it, but I didn't have the time to make it yet. So I'm sorry that I'm late to the party with this movie, but I just have to talk about this. I just have to. So this movie was like the most hyped up movie for this year. Except for Sinners, I'd say this movie and Superman probably on par for like the biggest movies of 2025. Now, I did like this movie, but I'd like to go into full detail of why I liked some things about it and why I didn't like other things about it. Because it seems like this movie's mixed. Like, people think that it's good, people think it's bad, people think the ending was dumb, and I'll get to that at the end. But personally, I don't think the ending was too bad. Like, we'll get more on that later, but let's just talk about the main review first. So the main story of this movie is that kids, on a random day, they go missing. They're all kids inside a classroom and they go missing just randomly. There are 17 students in the classroom and one of them is the only one that didn't go missing. Now, how they went missing is that one night at 2:17 in the morning, they all just ran out of their house with their arms like this. You can't really see, like with their arms down, how it looks on, how do I point? Wait, how it looks on the poster thing there. I can't point properly, but yeah. So yeah, they all fled their houses with that pose. They just ran out their house, and all the parents are obviously wondering what happened, why did they go missing, who's responsible for this. Now the movie starts with Julia Garner being the suspect of the person that might have made the children go missing. We also have in the cast Benedict Wong, who plays the character in Doctor Strange and in the other Marvel movies. Julia Garner, obviously Fantastic Four, she's in the new one that came out. And then we have Thanos. We have, what's his name called again? Josh Brolin as well. He's the one that thinks that Julia Garner is responsible for these kids going missing because she's the teacher in their classroom. And then there's only one student in the classroom that did not go missing, and we'll get more into that as well. But Julia Garner suspects that he might have had something to do with it, because we'll get more into that in a little bit. This movie is also directed by the same person who made Barbarian. Cregger, I think is his name. I searched it up. But I will get into the positives of the movie first. Now, I like the way the movie looks, the way the movie shoots. It's very well done. The cinematography is great. And I think that the suspenseful moments work well, mostly. And the acting is very good too. So those are the positives I've got. And what else can I say about this movie? There are some jump scares in the movie too that did get me. Like, this is a spoiler review, okay? So if you don't want to hear spoilers, then watch the movie. But there is the person who's responsible for the kids going missing. She appears multiple times in people's dreams, and the dream usually ends with the person, boo, getting jump scared by her. Like, I'll name a few times when she jump scares. I think the first time she jump scares a character is when Julia Garner's asleep, and then she supposedly wakes up even though she's already dreaming, and then she sees Gladys, which is the name of the old woman in the movie. She looks up to the ceiling and she's just there looking down at her. Very creepy moment. You'll have to watch the movie for yourself, but very creepy. Let me see if I can try and find a picture of what the old lady looks like. There we go. That is her there, looking very creepy, just like in the movie. And yeah, obviously that orange wig she's wearing is fake, because you really think she's gonna have hair looking like that, and she's like, I don't know how old she is. Well, I do know how old she is, but it's kind of another spoiler for the movie. This is a spoiler review though, so we know that she's like hundreds of years old because she's a witch. So yeah, don't get annoyed at me if you thought this was a spoiler free. It literally says in the title that it's a spoiler review, so do not get annoyed at me, okay? But yeah, continuing, she's the one responsible for all the kids going missing. Now, there is one thing I'd like to say about this, is that I like her character, but I feel like they could have had another reason why the kids went missing, like an old woman who's a witch being responsible for the kids going missing feels a bit like, I don't know. I don't really know what I thought of why the kids would have gone missing going into this movie. Like, I kind of had the feeling it was something to do with them being controlled, like, because of the way they all just run out the house. I knew it had something to do with being under a spell or being in control, and I was obviously correct with her being a witch. But I feel like there could have been another way where the kids would have went missing. Like, they could have still been running with their arms out, all goofy and that, but they could have done it in a different way, personally. Now, it's not a negative for the movie, it's just my opinion on it. But I feel like another thing I'd like to say that's a negative of the movie is it feels like they kind of rely too much on the jump scares for when Gladys is popping up in people's dreams. But I do think that there was one jump scare that actually made me like, got me a bit, which was when Josh Brolin's in his dream and he goes up to his son in the dream inside his house, and then he takes off the bedsheet, and then his son is laying in there. He's obviously like not completely there. He's got something wrong with him. He's talking to his son saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, you went missing, all of this. I feel responsible for this." And then all of a sudden the light flashes and then it just changes to a picture of Gladys. Wait, let me see if I can try and find that too, because boy, this moment in the movie, terrifying. So terrifying. Like, what am I even looking at? I actually just, it makes me like, look at them ugly teeth, bro. What? What? Actually, like, what am I even looking at? I hate this part in the movie. It actually made me jump so hard. Like, when I look like this and I see it to the side. All like the smeared lipstick as well. And her teeth just look horrible, man. What? Oh yeah, and then the comedy in the movie worked too, because when Josh Brolin wakes up from getting jump scared by her, he wakes up and goes, "What the?" Great moment in the movie. My favourite comedic part in the movie was that he literally just says, "What the F?" And then the whole audience in my cinema just went, it was so funny. But yeah, what else can I even say? I think that let's talk about how we find out that she's a witch, which is the first scene we find out when Benedict Wong, who is the principal of the school, she knocks on his door, because early in the movie they have a conversation, and then she comes to his house later on in the day or the next day or something, and then she basically like asks him to do a favor for her. She says she's unwell or something, but she's obviously just trying to manipulate him so that she can make the spell, and then so she can make a spell, control him, and then go after Julia Garner. Because what she does, she goes into his house, she makes him get like a bowl of water for some reason. He's like, "Why do you need a bowl of water for? That's a bit random, isn't it?" So then he gets her the bowl of water that she's been asking for. Benedict Wong has a boyfriend in the movie. He's also in the house too. they're obviously thinking, why is she asking for all this specific stuff, like a bowl of water? And then she has scissors as well. She cuts off a piece of Benedict Wong's hair, and then she takes control of Benedict Wong, and then makes him kill his boyfriend by smashing his head multiple times into his boyfriend, and then his eyes are all gouged out like this. His eyes are all massive. He's got all blood on his face, all over it, in his hair. It's all wet. It's all disgusting. Let me try and find a picture of that too. Alright guys, I just found it. This is the picture of Benedict Wong. He looks absolutely insane in this. As soon as he gets under that spell and looks like this, it's over for him. And then later on in the movie, no, basically, there's times in this movie that I need to talk about where I liked it, but I wasn't sure if I completely liked it, where it was kind of told in different characters' perspectives. So we had Julia Garner's perspective, we had the little kid's perspective, Benedict Wong's perspective, and we had a drug dealer's perspective, and not a drug dealer, like a junkie, and there was, who was the last one? The policeman that was having like an intimate affair with Julia Garner. So yeah, Benedict Wong, I don't like that it kept, I wasn't sure, okay, I liked it, but I wasn't completely with it, where it was like, it would show something happen in the movie, and then it would show it from another character's perspective, but either earlier in time or later in time. So when Benedict Wong comes up to Julia Garner and Josh Brolin when they're like having an argument, he runs up to her with his arms out, and then he chokes her on the ground like this, and then it just cuts after that. It cuts straight to another character. Then we get that person's perspective. I think this is a drug dealer that it goes to, or the police guy. Can't remember. But it goes to one of them. And then I think a chapter after that, another character later, that's when we finally see it go back to Benedict Wong, and then we see what happens to him strangling Julia Garner on the ground, which is he chases her inside the supermarket, like the gas station, and then he chokes her again or whatever. The police guy, no, not him, Josh Brolin tries to help get him off of Julia Garner. I'm just referring to them by the actors' names. I can't remember their names in the movie, so just don't get annoyed at me, please. And then Benedict Wong is chasing after Julia Garner. She escapes in her car. He's running after her in the street. And then a car just comes out of nowhere and then just fucking kills Benedict Wong. We see all his guts everywhere. His flipping brain is all exploding on the ground. It's absolutely disgusting. And then that's the end of him. And then, yeah. Alright, and then we're finally going to talk about the ending of the movie, where Julia Garner and Josh Brolin find out that everything that has been happening at the little kid's house. They go there, they find the police guy and the junkie guy under control by the witch. Because early in the movie, the junkie finds out that the kids are missing inside the witch's house, not the witch's house. Basically, the witch is the aunt of the little boy, because she comes over to the little boy's house with a plan to drain the life force out of his parents, because she's a witch, so that because she's getting old and she's dying, it will make her stay alive for longer. But then the witch finds out that because his parents are older, she's getting weaker again. So that's her whole idea, was to take the children from the classroom, all 17 of them, and drain all of their life forces, because they're young and they have more energy and stuff. They're younger, which makes her live longer if she drains their life force. So her plan, obviously, she takes all of the children into the basement of the house. And then early in the movie, the junkie, he explores the house, trying to look for stuff to steal. He sees the boy's parents under control, but they're not doing anything. He runs back out when he finds out something weird's going on, because the witch knows he's there. She rings her little bell thing, and then that makes his parents chase after him. He runs out of the house, he escapes. He finds the cop guy again. He tells them that the children are inside the house. They go back there together. The junkie guy, he goes inside the house. No, the police guy goes inside the house. He gets stuck in there. The junkie that's stuck inside the police car, he's got nothing to do. He's sat in there for like the whole night. It's kind of like another comedic part, that he's just been in there the whole night whilst he just hasn't been able to get out because the door to the car is locked, so he can't escape. And then the witch takes control of the police guy. He comes out of the house. He opens the door and then he drags the junkie guy in. So that's the explanation why the junkie and the police guy are in the house now and they're under the witch's control. Then Julia Garner and Josh Brolin, they find out that that's the house where everything's been taking place. And then they basically kill the police guy and the junkie that are inside the house. When they find out that they're being controlled by the witch, Julia Garner shoots both of them in their flipping heads. And then Josh Brolin goes into the basement. He's looking for his son. He doesn't find his son. He gets jump scared by the witch instead, which then makes him get under control of the spell. She takes control of him, and then she makes him go and fight and try and kill Julia Garner. And then meanwhile, the little kid's parents are trying to kill him because he steps over the line of salt that is on the floor. And then if he goes over the salt, it will make his parents attack him. He does it by accident. He goes into his room. He traps himself in there. I think the bathroom. He finds the stick of the witch that she uses to control the spells. He snaps it, which makes all 17 of the children in the basement come smashing out of the house. The old woman runs out. The witch runs out of the house. She's screaming. It's another like comical part. I think it's like the best comedy part of the movie. I personally like that part. A lot of people did not like that part in the movie, the ending. I like the ending. So then, obviously, what you can see behind me is they all get her onto the floor eventually when she's running. And then they tear her fucking face apart. They just demolish her. They rip her jaw open. They skin her. All her guts and stuff are all over the floor. Her blood, everything is just... Bro, she's dead. And then the children, obviously, it breaks the spell of everyone who's under control of her. Once they kill her, the spell's broken. Josh Brolin gets his son back. And then the movie ends with the little kid saying that some of the children managed to speak soon and some of them never spoke again. And then that's just how the movie ends. So, that's all I had to say for the movie Weapons. I did really like this movie. I thought it was different, which I probably say to every movie by now, but I actually do mean it this time. I wouldn't say it's my favourite horror movie of the year though. I still like the movie Together, which I might review as well, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's my whole review for the movie Weapons. I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video. Turn those post notifications on to see more of my content. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.